Hello and welcome to a time special presentation for Thirukkural with the Times, where we explore real-world lessons from the classic Tamil text Thirukkural with motivational speaker, author and diversity champion Bharathi Baskar as she explores the masterpiece. Israel, Palestine, Russia, Ukraine. These are not the only ones at war. In fact, all of us fight our own battles, sometimes within ourselves, sometimes in public. Can the strategies of warfare from centuries ago be applied today? Thiruvalluvar's insights on when to strike, against who to strike, and under what circumstances show that they can.
Life is a war. Some days it's merely a battle. As we navigate through professions, relationships, friends and foes, we suit up each day, armoring our hearts and masking our fears with a brave face. We march forward, sometimes with steady steps, sometimes staggering. Some battles are fought within, silent and unseen, while others are waged against the world. We fight to claim what is rightfully ours, to protect what we have painstakingly earned, to stand against injustice, betrayal and humiliation. Since we must fight anyways, let's learn to fight well and fight right. I have learned 3 invaluable lessons about warfare from 3 different encounters. The most recent lesson comes from a very young girl who has made our nation proud, Vaishali Ramesh Babu, a chess prodigy and a grandmaster. She constantly battles to carve her own identity, stepping out of the shadow of being known as Prajnananda's sister. Even as she remains a loving sibling, she fights to be recognized as one of the greatest chess players of our country. In the recent Tata Steel chess tournament match, Vaishali faced Uzbek grandmaster Nadirbek Yakubove. A video shared by ChessBase India captured an awkward moment. Vaishali extended her hand for a customary pre-match handshake, but Yakubove, arriving late, ignored the gesture. Some people say that it was a psychological tactic, an attempt to unnerve her. Yet, Vaishali remained unshaken. She did not react, did not look up. Instead, she descended deep within herself, seeing only the 64 squares before her. And then, in a poetic stroke of justice, she let her prowess speak, defeating her opponent with ease. When you must fight, expect humiliation, swallow it. There is only one way to respond: victory. The second lesson came from a karate master. He once shared with me a story about a 10-year-old boy born without a right arm. Despite his congenital condition, the master admitted him to his dojo, moved by the boy's passion for the karate sport. When the school faced a rival in a karate tournament, the boy volunteered to compete, even though he was only a reserve. The opposing team had an undefeatable star, a warrior who finished each match within seconds. As his teammates fell one by one, this boy stepped forward, requesting a match against the champion. The master hesitated, but admired the boy's courage and allowed him to fight. As soon as the bout began, the boy swiftly took down the champion. Within minutes, the one-armed boy emerged victorious. Later, during the celebration, the master asked the boy how he had achieved the impossible. The boy smiled and said, "I observed his pattern. He always seized the opponent's right hand before attacking. The opponent, who relied on grabbing his challenger's right arm to dominate, was lost since I had no right hand. Those few seconds of his confusion was all that I needed to strike." What we perceive as our weakness can be our greatest strength, just as what we boast of our strength can sometimes become our greatest weakness. The third lesson came from a close associate. The close associate once underwent a rigorous selection process for a leadership role. She was meticulous, prepared for the grilling interview rounds, and did quite well in the continuous interview rounds. Observers hinted that she was the strongest candidate. Yet in the end, she did not make it. Only later did she realize the decision had been made much before the interviews began. The contest was an illusion, a performance where the winner had already been chosen. While she opted to come out of the organization, I had learned something during her struggle. Some battles are predetermined. The clever, or the street smart as they are referred to, win before they fight, while the knave fight to win. The key is to assess the battlefield before preparing yourself for the war. You may be a great warrior, but if the terrain is set for somebody else's victory, you may not accomplish success, so don't waste your time. Valluvar, with his penetrating insights about human psychology, their strengths and weaknesses, gave useful tips for any battle that one has to combat. Vinaivaliyum, Thanvaliyum, Maatraan Valiyum, Thunaivaliyum, Thookki, Cheyal. Assess the force the strife demands. Assess the force the strife demands. Assess your strengths, then that of the foes and the allies of both. If favorable, then jump to fight. The art of battle, wherever it is not just about fighting. It's about knowing when and how to fight. In all the battles, there is an end. But sadly, we return and begin to fight again and again, wallowing in pride or pity. Honor and valor are awarded to those that move forward and flourish in their passages.